ladies and gents, this is Linda, Faychick777, and today I'm coming at you with the Design Team Project 4 Discount Paper Crafts. Now this project, I had purchased from eBay a couple of toy-sized musical instruments, you know, kids' toys. And this first one that I have altered is a kid's plastic toy violin, okay? And it actually plays music, but it sounded kind of pitiful, so I dismantled all the music part out of it before I started altering it and stuff. But anyway, and I also got to use for the decor of it, Prima's Time Traveler's Memories, that paper collection and the flowers and things that go with it, the chipboard and the wood pieces. Also pulled out some stationer's desk flowers, pulled out some cartographer flowers, some romance novel flowers, and even pulled out some butterflies from the engraver collection. But anyway, I'm going to move my sign out of the way so we can get started. Also, I got to use Prima's new color bloom sprays, and I used this vintage coal, and Kathy carries these in her store, and the tea stain. And let me tell you, these sprays are so super potent. They are vibrant when you spray them. I cannot believe how luscious they come out. And my thought is, you know, once you get down to maybe about just a little bit, maybe just about down to the end of that label, that you can refill them and then still get another bottle out of it. Maybe be able to do it like 3 times. So, you know, it's well worth your money to get some of these sprays. If you haven't tried them yet, I think you'll be pretty happy with it. I was, you know, very happily surprised, but I shouldn't have been because, you know, the quality of Prima stuff. But really loved using these couple of sprays. But anyway, I'm going to move my camera back a bit and get it adjusted and then bring my project into view. The stand's only about 13 inches tall. Okay. Get it clear to the back. There we go. So as you can see here, my cute little violin, and I think the Time Traveler's Memories collection just made it very vintage and romance, which, you know, you guys know I like to go for that. Anyway, so that's it just at a glance. What I'll do is adjust my camera even more. I was going to take it off the tripod, but I don't think I'm going to do that because it just gets a little bit too shaky. Let me turn this around, kind of go around all sides for you. Bring it around here. And we'll go around to this side. Now, the first thing I did is, like I said, I dismantled it, you know, took all the music stuff out of it, got it all kind of back together. Actually, I don't think I quite got it back together yet. I had it in pieces when I decorated it. But I started with, because it was plastic, I started with acrylic paint mixed with sand to texturize all the little bits and pieces that went with it and all the edges. And then I used plain typing paper to kind of trace the pattern of the violin before I just started, you know, using my Prima paper so I wouldn't mess it up. You know, and I've got the front in like 3 layers, and then I've got the back in just 1 layer. Okay, but then I've got the side pieces, and then I've got even like the little pieces of the bow here, and then, you know, I've got the bottom. This little spot over here keeps getting stuck. I got the bottom of the base as well, covered in paper. Okay, you know, even like the top up here and everything. All right, so let me get in a little bit closer. Let me adjust my camera back down. Let me bring this up, and we'll see how up close and personal we can get. Let me zoom in. I will have to bring it down even more, I'm sure. So here's the bottom part of it. We'll go just a little bit side to side, panning in a little bit more slowly. This. Okay. And I'll adjust my camera up so you can get a look at the top. Okay. And I didn't do anything to the little knobs, as you can see. I just left them the acrylic paint mixed with sand. Okay. Let me go down and show you the side. This one side anyway, and then we'll kind of get a look at the back. I think slow enough. I don't want to give anyone the head spins here or headache. And back around to the back. Okay. So there, I was going to say let's start on the back, but I think I'm actually going to go ahead and start right back to the front. Okay? All right. Let's start again at the bottom. So since it's a musical, a musical instrument, I wanted to make sure that I put musical notes inside of it. So that's what you're kind of seeing all along here. So let me start kind of at the tip top so you can see kind of the pattern papers I started with. I started with the stripe on the very background, used the script paper kind of the front underneath the strings, and as you can see, the strings are black as well because they were silver. I did go ahead and paint those as well. Anyway, used a black stripe here, and then I used a burgundy, and then I used kind of a different script paper that's got, let me bring this down a little bit, that's got some real pretty rose print and stuff along the front down here at the bottom. Just beautiful. And then what I did here, for the part here where the strings rest on, I had like a, let me tip it so you can see. I had like a metal embellishment, and I bent it in half over the piece that was already there that the strings would normally rest on, and laid it up over that piece and laid the strings on top of that because they had nice little recesses in it. And then what I did is the violin also had, it kind of more looked like an S shape almost, but these are Prima resin parentheses. It came out of one of the Prima resins in a box, the ones with the words, and had some of the, like ampersand symbols, and then it had parentheses in it, so the parentheses were perfect to act as the little decorative shapes on the violin itself. And as we come down to the bottom, this is just a little wood window in my stash. I put that there, kind of like, a window into the music of your soul. And then right here, I've got a little Prima tag from the Time Traveler's Memories collection. And then on top of that, I've got a little metal frame. It kind of frames because it had this quote on the tag, "Together Forever," so it kind of frames that. And then hanging from one edge, I made just a tiny little charm hanging down here, made it kind of vintagey, and then from that I hung like a little music note, okay? And then behind, I want to make sure I'm right in it, but up close for you. Behind that, I used a couple, or one piece of, it's a chipboard ticket from the chipboard collection. Okay, and then behind, down below, I've got a chipboard clock from the collection. Okay, and then I'm going to zoom in just a little bit closer still. And then as you can see, got to kind of move because I have this dangling free. As you can see, right below the clock here, I've got a little ticket from the tags and ticket collection as well. It says admit 1. And then on the front of that, I've got an Ingville Bohm White Hard Gear, and then Prima's little metal clock hands, okay? And then I've got a bunch of the flowers and stuff all tied in here. Here's romance novel flowers and stationer's desk flowers and stuff like that. And this is one of the butterflies from the engraver collection right here. Okay, and then I wanted to have a little jar that kind of had music notes in it, and it looked like music notes were like spilling out of the jar. And so that's what I've done here. I placed a little jar. I put my little X and O right in here, and a little brown rose, and then music notes in there, and then music notes spilling out of the jar. But also right up above the music notes, you can see I've got a little Prima water faucet here because I also wanted the water faucet to be raining music notes. So I just thought that was kind of a cute little ensemble there. You know, it's raining music notes, and then there's music notes kind of spilling out of the jar. And then I've also got like music notes up on top of that, okay? Let me move this back up a minute. On top of the tag here, I've got a key, you know, and all the collections like the Stationer's Desk and the Time Travelers and the Cartographer and stuff, all those flowers and stuff all came from Kathy's store, the resin pieces, okay? And also this key, and now all of a sudden for the life of me I can't remember which brand the key is, but I loved it because the title on the package was Music Box Keys. Because so I just thought that was perfect. It's a little music box key on the violin, so I just thought that was kind of cool. And as you can see, I mean, I didn't mention it, but I did put a little, you know, strip of lace on the little music note that's hanging here. Anyway, so let's come over to this side. So just my camera again. Behind the water faucet is another little Prima resin clock. And then behind the clock, right here, is a little clock from the collection. And you know what? For the life of me, I can't remember. This is either from the Stationer's Desk or the Time Traveler's Memories, the little wood pieces clock here. And then kind of behind the clock, if you can see, this little piece right in here, it's just a cute little decorative shape. This is this, and it's from Kaisercraft. It's a wooden flourish, and I just love the cute curly cues on the end of it there. So I stuck it behind the clock to kind of give it a little bit more dimension. Okay, and then I've got more flowers, and there's another engraver butterfly tuck there. That love word is just love for my stash, and I sprayed that as well as the music notes. Okay, all the wood pieces got sprayed with that Prima spray, the tea stain. And also some of my flowers, that they were white in color, and I'll point them out as we get to them. I used the tea spray, the tea stain spray as well. That's kind of a mouthful to say, to kind of color those up and give them a little vintage look. So you can see the color that comes out. It's just a beautiful tea stain. Anyway, and then behind, it's going to start getting hard to see, but I'll turn it to the side a little bit. Behind there is a bunch of flowers I got nestled in here. Here's one of the new from the Locks and Keys, the resins in a box. So this is one of the locks from that. Okay, this is one of the Shabby Chic Metal Treasures, this lamppost by Prima. And let me go up a little bit. You can see some of my flowers and stuff again. I've got another engraver butterfly. I've got some Prima leaves there from the collection. I've got another little white heart gear there. Let me come back, whoops, out again. Kind of turn it to the side a little bit more. And you can see a lot more of the flowers coming out, more gears. Tons of flowers. This is like the flower from the Cartographer collection, kind of gets hidden in there. And what I wanted to show you, as you can see, how all this kind of sticks out to the side. What I did in order to do that is I took a piece of acrylic and I cut like a little rectangular piece, and I glued it behind the violin, and it stuck out to right about here. Okay, it was probably about a 3-inch wide piece, and I stuck it here, and that's the base that I used to glue all my flowers and stuff to the front so that they would kind of spill out the side of the violin. Okay, so, and then of course, since I did that and hot glued to that, then I had to cover it on the back. So as we kind of turn to the back, and you'll be able to see, right here you can kind of see it shining. Right there, that's a piece of the acrylic. I left a little bit of that showing in the back. That didn't bother me not to be covered there. But here you can see these flowers. Let me zoom in on those. Those are colored with that Prima tea stain. Just beautiful. And then all the black flowers, you can see how coal black they are. All those are and you can see the shimmer on it. That's using that vintage coal color bloom spray. It almost has like a golden tint to it, or kind of like a greenish gold tint to it. But when you look at the flower, it's black, but then the glitter of it's kind of got a greenish gold tint to it. And in the other flowers, the tea stain's got more of a golden tint to it. See, and they just turn out. And all the flowers, they were, you know, depending, they were cream color, but depending on the color of the cream, they all turned out different colors actually, because you could see some are a little bit lighter, some are a little bit darker. It's because of how the color originally started on the flowers. Okay, I'll set this down, and you could see the back. And I distressed and sewed all the edges of my papers. I just did single layering on the back here. I used that stripe paper on the side. You can see I went down the side and I glimmer misted all of that, so that all shimmers as well. Okay. And then let's go back down to the bottom down here. Okay, there we go. And then I've got one of those Prima resins in a box clocks. And I kind of layered it here in front of the flowers and stuff. And then I took flowers kind of down through the bottom, and then I layered one of the keys from the Locks and Keys collection from Prima. Layered it kind of down there. And as we come around to the side, I've got more flowers. I've got this real pretty music note flower I purchased at one of the craft stores. So I thought that was real pretty and just kind of was perfect for this project. Okay. And then on my bows, you can see the little bow here. I used script paper as well to kind of cover that up just on the one edge. Okay. So there it is. There's my little project. Let me bring this back up and zoom it out. You think I'd get that right, huh? Anyway, just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you like it. Like I said at the beginning, I think I bought a couple of musical instruments. So when I get the perfect idea for how I want to design the other one, I'll be bringing that out, of course, to pass at some time and have it all crafted up and show you that as well. And then I'll just have a nice little set of 2 musical instruments. But I like that they're miniature because I can put them on a shelf. Anyway, so I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.